Hey guys, welcome to Loudscast with TGN.TV, and this is Loudscast Weekly, bringing you the latest WoW news and info. Okay guys, before I go into the news today, I would just like to say, do a quick little announcement here, that WoW News is actually its own show on TGN World of Warcraft. Now, if you don't want to miss a single episode of this fantastic series, all you need to do is click the WoW News icon at the top of any episode. And once that has loaded up, there we go, bing, and hit subscribe. And you will then be subscribed to the WoW News show, and you will not miss a single episode. Okay, guys, I am now going to bring you your Blizz headlines. MMO Champion has released a rather interesting bit of information here that Mr. Pandaria has been a registered trademark of Blizzard. Blizzard have registered this trademark for Mr. Pandaria, so what does this mean exactly? Well, essentially, guys, the Pandarians are a race within World of Warcraft, so we could possibly be looking at potentially the next expansion here for WoW itself, featuring the these sort of large anthropomorphic pandas themselves. And basically, this is just basically showing us here that they have registered this trademark. Now, there has been a lot of rumours, some of them completely out of whack and crazy, where some of them vaguely plausible, as to why Pandarians have never been featured in World of Warcraft itself. The sort of really weird, odd one here is that apparently the Chinese government wasn't happy with Blizzard featuring pandas within the game itself, so they did not put them in, as in they did not want to see pandas harmed and this sort of thing. Where do people get this information from? Stop reading Wikipedia too much. That is really bizarre. If that is true, I will eat my own head. I'm not even joking. The vaguely plausible one, however, is that a Japanese anime actually did feature anthropomorphic pandas in it, featured as sort of samurais and that sort of thing, and they threatened to sue Blizzard if they did put them into the game. That is vaguely plausible. However, during the course of World of Warcraft so far, we have seen a Pandarian figure being released as part of the figures range, World of Warcraft figures range, and we have also seen a Pandarian monk pet. And there is already lots of speculation as to what could be going on with this expansion. The most plausible which I have read upon is that possibly if the Pandarians were to be featured in the game as of next expansion, they would start essentially as a neutral faction within the game. So they'd start as a neutral faction and you would level up a Pandarian character. You would then get the choice of either being Alliance or Horde. Now, I was actually thinking about this myself, and what I thought would be cool is rather than giving people a choice to realms which have a low Horde percent or a low Alliance percent, why not just make people play on the faction which has the lower percent of players, although I can imagine the QQ about that. The other bit of a speculation on this, guys, is that another hero class such as the Death Knight may be released, and that hero class would indeed be the Pandarian Brewmaster. Now, if you played Warcraft 3 at all, or follow any of the WoW lore, you'll be aware of exactly what that is. Essentially, a Pandarian Brewmaster is someone who drinks all kinds of concoctions to power himself for combat. So that may be a hero class there, and I'm thinking it would possibly be a tank stroke DPS class if they were going to add something like that into the game. The other bit of speculation, and I'm not entirely convinced by this one, is the fact that there could be a Pandarian Blade Master into the game. Now, they've already given some of their Blade Master abilities to a warrior, so I don't think that that would be entirely plausible. Whatever the case, I'm sure that Blizzard are going to announce something on this at BlizzCon, and I will keep you posted. Any bits of information I get will be appearing on this fantastic news show which you are all watching and enjoying. Anyway, moving on now, guys. The latest round of hotfixes for patch 4.2 have been released. We are now on 4.2.0a apparently. Nothing major in here, it is just essentially a lot of little bug fixes for the game. People have been reporting them, and they've done a hotfix which has come out on the 8th of August, so go check that out. Link in the description will be below as to a link for that registered trademark. Okay guys, we're now going to move on to your forum post of the week. This one comes in from Mimia, who is basically asking people to stop whining about healers being overpowered in Arena and on 1v1 and all that sort of thing. And I completely agree. I've been doing a bit of Arena. Okay, healers are quite hard to get down by themselves and that sort of thing, but you can do it. You just got to remember to use the right interrupts in the right place, the right stun in the right place, use your cooldowns selectively, strategize a bit, and you shouldn't have too much of a problem really taking a healer down. Lots of people are complaining because obviously in patch 4.2 we saw the increase on the crit of healing, which people thought that healers were suddenly going to be really OP in Battlegrounds and Arena. Yeah, it is nice to have a healer behind you when you're in a BG Arena, I've got to admit. But one-on-one, a healer is never going to be able to throw out the DPS which a DPS class is going to. Never going to be able to, and that's specifically designed like that. Okay, they throw themselves lots of self-heals, but if you keep chipping away at them and, like I say, you strategize for the fight, you should be fine. Okay guys, we are now going to move on to the forum fail of the week. And this one comes in from a player on Argent Dawn. If you remember rightly, the first episode I did the forum fail of the week was from a player on Argent Dawn. If you're not aware guys, Argent Dawn is an RP realm. Yes, less said about that, the better. In fact, on the TGN live stream, we have been messing around a bit on Argent Dawn. It's a bit like Moongod. I know Tally does a few videos on Moongod. It's pretty much like that, so I don't take anything that most of these people really say. Anyway, I'm rambling on a bit, and what is this guy going on about here called Vanadar? He's going on about claiming military ranks in guilds, and particularly on an RP realm. For example, if you have a guild, you can set your ranks up and you can do it in a military order. Now, he is basically questioning how new people may have such high military rank in their guild. Maybe they're the GM, possibly. Maybe they've given their character a bit of background to back that sort of thing up. I don't really know what goes on RP realms. This post though just seems like a waste of keystrokes. I don't understand exactly what the hell he's going on about. He's saying basically people should not have military ranks in guilds without the background to support them. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this one completely. I actually facepalmed when I was reading this. Link to that will be in the description below. Okay guys, we're going to move on to YouTube channel of the week. Now this is DJ Exifia. Hope I have said that right. This guy is awesome. Normally I prefer my music with a lot more heavy guitar in it and thrashy guitar and heavy lyrics and that sort of thing. And I'm not really into dubstep much at all. But I have been listening to a few of his tracks. It is actually one of his tracks that is playing in the background at the minute during the course of this video. And he's got some really good tunes on there. So definitely, if you have a few minutes, go and check him out and subscribe to him and support him. And he is supporting TGN, by the way, guys. He's given us rights to use his music on our videos, which is awesome. So if you're a fan of TGN and want to support us and all that sort of stuff, definitely go and check out his music. He's doing us a great favour, and I'm just trying to return it a little bit by mentioning him in the show. But honestly, I'm normally not into dubstep, and I really enjoyed his stuff. Okay guys, we are now going to move on to Loud's Q&A. I've got a couple of questions here in my inbox which I am going to answer. First one comes in from Artman Oz, who asks, "Hey man, who has been your favourite NPC in WoW and why?" Okay, my favourite NPC in World of Warcraft, and this goes back to when I used to play Warcraft 3 as well, is Thrall, the Orc War Chief, or ex-Orc War Chief as he now is. I have always liked Thrall. I've always liked his attitude, the way he deals with things, the fact that he is a very powerful shaman, the fact that he had Doomhammer as well, all kinds of cool stuff going on with him. I loved him in WoW. He actually inspired me to play as shaman as my first ever class in Warcraft, in WoW itself. And I hope that sort of answers your question. Okay, next question we've got here is, "Hey Loudscast, you do sweet streaming as a warrior tank. Thank you very much. And every time I see you tanking as a warrior, you make it look easy. I have several problems with tanking as a warrior, and I wanted to ask you, is there any easy way of tanking as a warrior? And what is the process rotation which you use to tank?" Okay, I can't really give a short answer to this. It's not particularly easy to tank as a warrior. You basically have two rotations which you use. You have your AoE threat rotation and you have your single target rotation. You always want to make sure that you have vigilance if you're raiding on the other tank, or you want to have vigilance on the DPS who is causing the most amount of threat. Therefore your taunt will refresh and that will all be good and that will help you out. As far as rotation goes, if you're on multiple mobs, go Rend, Thunderclap, Shockwave, Cleave. That will give you some nice AoE threat. And if you are on a single target, well, you want to be using shield block anyway, so you'll shield block, you'll hit them with a shield slam. For revenge procs, you'll use that. You'll use Devastate for 3 stacks, and you will throw in heroic strikes as well to keep threat. I hope that answers your question. I will plan on doing a tanking guide for warriors at some point, so if you want to see that, guys, for this video. Okay guys, thank you very much for your questions. You have both been entered into the monthly draw to win an in-game pet. Now, if you would like a chance to win along with those two people, as well as the two other people we had on the last show who posted me questions in, 2 plus 2, that's 4 so far, all you need to do is email your question in to loudscast@tgn.tv, or you can also send me a message via YouTube to my personal channel. Link will be in the description below. Do not send it to the TGN World of Warcraft channel, as it will most likely just sort of be ignored, as I don't check that on a regular basis. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this show. I'm going to have a couple of videos on my new alt coming out in the next couple of days here on TGN World of Warcraft. So look forward to those, and I'll see you next time. Bye.